You were solid as a mountain, you were heavy as a stone, the strongest architecture that I'd ever known. I could feel the weight of you when you walked into the hall, a physical presence leaning on the wall. The temperature shifted, the pressure got too high, and I watched the always start to evaporate and die. I reached for your shoulder, but my fingers found the air, searching for the substance that was no longer there. And love became vapor, a cloud in the room, a hazy kind of haunting in the middle of the gloom. I'm breathing in the memories, but I'm starving for the real. Listen to gravity of the way we used to feel. It drifted through the window, it vanished in the hall, leaving nothing but the shadow of a message on the wall. Your love became vapor, a breathless kind of ghost, the invisible version of the one I love the most. I'm fanning the silence, I'm chasing the mist, trying to prove that we still exist. But you're a blur in the doorway, you're smoke in the street, the untouchable rhythm of a total defeat. We're dissolving in the daylight, we're fading in the sun, another in the history of all we'd begun. It's a painless kind of leaving, a liquid kind of loss, watching the weight of us simply melt across the frost. They say nothing lasts, that the steam has to rise, but I wasn't ready for the fog inside your eyes. The solid turned to liquid, the liquid turned to air, leaving me grasping at a love that isn't there. I'm shouting in a vacuum, I'm waving at the sky, at the translucent remains of a long-term life. And love became vapor, a cloud in the room, a hazy kind of haunting in the middle of the gloom. I'm breathing in the memories, but I'm starving for the real. Missing the gravity just a haze, lost in the maze of faded pink dreams. Vapor, we were solid as a mountain, we were heavy as the stone, the strongest architecture that I'd ever known. I could feel the weight of you when you walked into the hall, a physical presence leaning on the wall. But the temperature shifted, the pressure got too high, and I watched the always start to evaporate and die. I reached for your shoulder, but my fingers found the air, searching for the substance that was no longer there. And love became vapor, cloud in the room, a hazy kind of haunting in the middle of the gloom. I'm breathing in the memories, but I'm starving for the real, missing the gravity of the way we used to feel. It drifted through the window, it vanished in the hall, leaving nothing but the shadow of a message on the wall. Yeah, love became vapor, a breathless kind of ghost, the invisible version of the one I love the most. I'm fanning the silence, I'm chasing the mist, trying to prove that we still exist. But you're a blur in the doorway, you're smoke in the street, the untouchable rhythm of a total defeat. We're dissolving in the daylight, we're fading in the sun, unraveling the history of all we've begun. It's a painless kind of leaving, a liquid kind of loss, watching the weight of us simply melt across the frost. They say nothing lasts, that the steam has to rise, but I wasn't ready for the fog inside your eyes. The solid turned to liquid, the liquid turned to air, leaving me grasping at a love that isn't there. I'm shouting in a vacuum, I'm waving at the sky, at the translucent remains of a long-term lie. I'm staring at the bookmark tucked inside the spine, right at the part where your life started drifting out of mine. We were building up the tension, we were fleshing out the plot, living in the sanctuary of the whys and why nots. But the author lost the vision, the ink went dry and cold, leaving half a handwritten story that'll never be told. I'm stuck on page 100, rereading every line, trying to find the meaning in a broken down design. And it's an unfinished just chapter, a sentence left to hang, the echo of a symphony that never even sang. It's a cliffhanger of sorrow, a missing final word, the loudest kind of silence that I have ever heard. We left the dialogue unfinished in the air, a ghost inside a library of a love that isn't there. Yeah, an unfinished just chapter, frozen on the page, locked inside the hollow of this colorless cage. I saw the sequel in your eyes when you walked toward the light, writing a new character in the middle of the night. While I'm still memorizing the way we used to talk, pacing back and forth on our solitary walk. There's a clutter of the maybes, scraps on the floor, rough drafts of a future that don't live here anymore. You ripped the binding off and you tossed the pen away, closing out the record of our yesterday. Should I write my own ending? Should I finish up the scene in the hollow theater of the life that might have been? But every word feels heavy and every vow feels wrong without the melody of a heartbroken song. I'm a leftover cat, I'm a marginal note, sinking on the wreckage of the last thing you wrote. And it's an unfinished just chapter, a sadness left to hang, the echo of a symphony that never even sang. It's a cliffhanger of sorrow, a missing final word, the loudest kind of silence that I have ever heard. We left the dialogue unfinished in the air, a ghost inside a library of a love that isn't there. Yeah, an unfinished just chapter, frozen on the page, locked inside the hollow of this colorless cage. Unfinished just chapter, I'm putting down the pen. Unfinished just chapter, I won't read it again. Just a blank, just a void, the story destroyed. Chapter unfinished, done. I'm staring at the bookmark tucked inside the spine, right at the part where your life started drifting out of mine. We were building up the tension, we were fleshing out the plot, living in the sanctuary of the whys and why nots. But the author lost the vision, the ink went dry and cold, leaving half a handwritten story that'll never be told. I'm stuck on page 100, rereading every line, trying to find the meaning in a broken down design. And it's an unfinished chapter, a sentence left to hang, the echo of a symphony that never even sang. It's a cliffhanger of sorrow, a missing final word, the loudest kind of silence that I have ever heard. We left the dialogue unfinished in the air, a ghost inside a library of a love that isn't there yet. Unfinished this chapter, frozen on the page, locked inside the hollow of this colorless cage. I saw the sequel in your eyes when you walked toward the light, writing a new character in the middle of the night, while I'm still memorizing the way we used to talk, pacing back and forth on our solitary walk. There's a clutter of the maybes and scraps on the floor, rough drafts of a future that don't live here anymore. You ripped the binding off and you tossed the pen away, closing out the record of our yesterday. Should I write my own ending? Should I finish up the scene in the hollow theater of a life that might have been? But every word feels heavy, and every vowel feels wrong without the melody of a heartbroken song. We left off a character, I'm a marginal note, sinking on the wreckage of the last thing you wrote. And it's an unfinished chapter, a sentence left to hang, the echo of a symphony that never even sang. It's a cliffhanger of sorrow, a missing final word, the loudest kind of silence that I've ever heard. We left the dialogue unfinished in the air, a ghost inside a library of a love that isn't there yet. Unfinished this chapter, frozen on the page, locked inside the hollow of this colorless cage. Unfinished this chapter, I'm putting down the pen. Unfinished this chapter, I won't read it again. Just a blind, just a void, the story destroyed. Chapter unfinished, done. The moving truck has long since pulled away, taking every tangible piece of your yesterday. The closets are hollow, the walls are all bare, not a single stray thread or scent in the air. But the angle of the afternoon hits the kitchen floor, and I see the silhouette of who you were before. It's a dark kind of presence, a void in the light that refuses to leave in the middle of the night. And your shadow stays even when you are gone. From the first cup of coffee to the break of the dawn, it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't take up space, but it's perfectly etched in this lonely place. A ghost written outline of a love turned to lead, living in the silence of the things you never said. Yeah, your shadow stays a permanent design, the negative space between your life and mine. I try to walk through it, I try to ignore the formless companion beside me on the floor. But it's tethered to my memory, it's anchored to my soul, taking every bit of sunshine and taking its toll. It stretches out its sunset to the edge of the room, cultivating shadows and gathering gloom. I can paint over walls and change out the rugs, but I can't scrub the feeling of those phantom-like hugs. They say shadows are harmless, they're only just dark, but every day without you is missing the spark. It's a shroud for the living, it's a weight for the heart, the quietest version of drifting apart. I'm a landmark of absence, I'm a vessel for the night, keeping your outline in the vanishing light. And your shadow stays even when you are gone. From the first cup of coffee train truck has long since pulled away, taking every tangible piece of your yesterday. The closets are hollow, the walls are all bare, not a single stray thread or scent in the air. But the angle of the afternoon hits the kitchen floor, and I see the silhouette of who you were before. It's a dark kind of presence, a void in the light that refuses to leave in the middle of the night. And your shadow stays even when you are gone. From the first cup of coffee to the break of the dawn, it doesn't make a sound, it doesn't take up space, but it's perfectly etched in this lonely place. A ghost-written outline of a love turned to lead, living in the silence of the things you never said. Yeah, your shadow stays, a permanent design, that negative space between your life and mine. I try to walk through it, I try to ignore the formless companion beside me on the floor. But it's tethered to my memory, it's anchored to my soul, taking every bit of sunshine, taking its toll. It stretches out at sunset to the edge of the room, cultivating shadows and gathering gloom. I can paint over walls and change out the rust, but I can't scrub the feeling of those phantom-like hugs. They say shadows are harmless, they're only just dark, but every day without you is missing the spark. It's a shroud for the living, it's a way for the heart, the quietest version of drifting apart. I'm a landmark of absence, I'm a vessel for the night, keeping your outline in the vanishing light. And your shadow stays even when you are gone. read in the gaps in the stories you told. The vibe of veneer starting to mold. You spoke in the shallow, you spoke in the light, but the real thing was hiding deep in the night. It's the weight of the fine, the lie of the okay, the elephant waiting for the words to be said. I'd rather have shrapnel, I'd rather have fire than the stagnant water of a beautiful liar. And the unsaid truth hurts more than the shout. It's the slow motion poison of living with doubt. It's a shackle of silence, a pressure in the chest, a final confession that never can rest. You didn't have to scream it to make it be true. I could feel the departure settling in you. Yeah, the unsaid truth hurts, a ghost in the grind. The loudest kind of quiet in the middle of the rain. Exchanging the pleasantries over the meal, ignoring the jagged thing that's starting to peel. The I love yous are scripts, the looks are all fake, inside of a history completely remade. The truth is a tumor, the truth is a knot, tying up the future of the life we both got. If I ask the question, will the universe break, or just solidify the hollowed out ache? Words are just bandages, words are just thread, but they can't fix the spirit when the foundation is dead. The unsaid is heavy, the unsaid is stone, a signature frequency of being cheery alone. It's the breath that you hold, it's the look you avoid, the silent anatomy of a love you destroyed. And the unsaid truth hurts more than the shout. It's the slow motion poison of living with doubt. It's a shackle of silence, a pressure in the chest, a final confession that never can rest. You didn't have to scream it to make it be true. I could feel the departure settling in you. Yeah, the unsaid truth hurts, a ghost in the grave, the loudest kind of quiet in the middle of the rain. Unsaid truth hurts, I can't hear the lies anymore. Unsaid truth hurts, I'm walking away from the shore. No more iron, just the things you never said hurts, hurts, hurts inside. I'm reading the gaps in the stories you told, the verb and veneer that's starting to mold. You spoke in the shallow, you spoke in the light, but the real thing was hiding deep in the night. It's the weight of the fine, the lie of the okay, the elephant waiting for the words to be said. I'd rather have shrapnel, I'd rather have fire than the stagnant water of a beautiful lie. And the unsaid truth hurts more than a shout. It's the slow motion poison of living with doubt. It's a shackle of silence, a pressure in the chest, a final confession that never can rest. You didn't have to scream it to make it be true. I could feel the departure settling in you. Yeah, the unsaid truth hurts, a ghost in the grain, the loudest kind of quiet in the middle of the rain. We're exchanging the pleasantries over the meal, ignoring the jagged thing that's starting to peel. The I love yous are scripts, the looks are all fake, inside of a history completely remade. The truth is a tumor, the truth is a knot, tying up the future of the life we both got. If I ask the question, will the universe break, or just solidify the hollowed out ache? Words are just bandages, words are just thread, but they can't fix the spirit when the foundation is dead. The unsaid is heavy, the unsaid is stone, the signature frequency of being truly alone. It's the breath that you hold, it's the look you avoid, the silent anatomy of a love you distorted in. Unsaid truth hurts more than a shout. It's the slow motion poison of living with doubt. It's a shackle of silence, a pressure in the chest, a final confession that never can rest. You didn't have to scream it to make it be true. I could feel the departure settling in you. Yeah, the unsaid truth hurts, a ghost in the grave, the loudest kind of quiet in the middle of the rain. Unsaid truth hurts, I can't hear the waves anymore. Unsaid truth hurts, I'm walking away from the shore. No more I, no more lead, just the things you never said. Let's say I'm standing on the rooftop with my phone in the air, trying to catch a whisper that's no longer there. I sent a message to the ghost of your name, but the blue light is flickering, a dying flame. I remember when the frequency was forward and clear, when the I love yous were the only thing I'd hear. Now it's just static and a crackle in the night, a vanishing signal in the failing light. And it's a faint love signal, a heartbeat on the blink, pushed to the edge of a permanent brink. One bar of hope in a desert of doubt, watching the oxygen slowly run out. It's a muted connection, a distance so wide, with nowhere left for the always to hide. Yeah, faint love signal, searching for a trace of the version of us that you chose to erase. I reread the archives of the digital haze, from the vivid and sun-drenched yesterdays. But the pixels are aging, the resolution's thin, watching the end of the signal quietly begin. You're a satellite drifting away from the earth, leaving the weight for whatever it's worth. I'm waving a flag in the silent abyss, at the broken down frequency of the last kiss. Static is an answer, static is a wall, the loudest kind of nothing at the end of the hall. Do you ever look back? Do you ever check in? Or is the record of our history already been thin? I'm negotiating minutes with a dead air phone, the signature frequency of being truly alone. And it's a faint love signal, a heartbeat on the brink, pushed to the edge of a panic brink. One bar of hope in a desert of doubt, watching the oxygen slowly run out. It's a muted connection, a distance so wide, with nowhere left for the always to hide. Yeah, faint love signal, searching for a trace of the version of us that you chose to erase. Faint love signal, I'm losing the lines. Faint love signal, a heart that was mine. I'm standing on the rooftop with my phone in the air, trying to catch a whisper that's no longer there. I sent a message to the ghost of your name, but the blue light is flickering, a dying flame. I remember when the frequency was vibrant and clear, when the I love yous were the only thing I'd hear. Now it's just static and a crackle in the night, a vanishing signal in the failing light. And it's a faint love signal, a heartbeat on the blink, pushed to the edge of a permanent break. One bar of hope in a desert of doubt, watching the oxygen slowly run out. It's a muted connection, a distance so wide, with nowhere left for the always to hide. Yeah, a faint love signal, searching for a trace of the version of us that you chose to erase. I read the archives of the digital haze, from the vivid and sun-drenched yesterdays. But the pixels are aging, the resolution's thin, watching the end of the signal quietly begin. You're a satellite drifting away from the earth, leaving the weight for whatever it's worth. I'm waving a flag in the silent abyss, at the broken down frequency of the last kiss. Static is an answer, static is a wall, the loudest kind of nothing at the end of the hall. Do you ever look back? Do you ever check in? Or is the record of our history already been seen? I'm negotiating minutes with the telephone, the signature frequency of being truly alone. And it's a faint love signal, a heartbeat on the blink, pushed to the edge of a permanent brink. One bar of hope in a desert of doubt, watching the oxygen slowly run out. It's a muted connection, a distance so wide, with nowhere left for the always to hide. Yeah, a faint love signal, searching for a trace of the version of us that you chose to erase. Faint love signal, I'm losing the line. Faint love signal, a heart that was mine. No more bars, no more light, just the silence in the night. Signal, signal gone. I'm standing on the shoreline of a brand new day, watching all the debris of us wash away. The surface is a mirror, the tide is acting kind, leaving every jagged thought a mile or two behind. I take a steady breath, I take a solid step into the shallows where the promises were kept. But the sand is shifting beneath my shaking feet, at the invisible border of a total defeat. And it's emotional undertow, pulling at the bone, the heaviest kind of gravity I have ever known. Just when I'm walking, just when I'm free, it drags the whole of yesterday right back over. undertow, drowning in the light, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night. It's a random melody, or the smell of the rain, that activates the circuit of the same old pain. I'm fighting for the oxygen, I'm fighting for the air, but the current's got a grip on the love that isn't there. I smile for the cameras, I talk to the crowd, while the silence in my chest is getting way too loud. It drags me to the bottom, it drags me to the deep, into the hollow theater of the secrets that I keep. Surface looks like iron, surface looks like peace, but underneath the blue there's no such thing as release. It's a shackle of water, it's a saltwater chain, a permanent reminder of the duration of the rain. Don't tell me it's over, don't tell me it's done, when I'm drowning in the shadow of a long-term sun. It's the emotional undertow, pulling at the bone, the heaviest kind of gravity I have ever known. Just when I'm walking, just when I'm free, it drags the whole of yesterday right back over me. A silent current, a subterranean sting of all the broken winters that your absence can bring. Emotional undertow, drowning in the light, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night. Emotional undertow, I'm going under again. Emotional undertow, back to where it's been. Just the soul, just the sea, just the ghost of you and me, undertow. Undertow. Gone. I'm standing on the shoreline of a brand new day, watching all the debris of us wash away. The surface is a mirror, the tide is acting kind, leaving every jagged thought a mile or two behind. I take a steady breath, I take a solid step into the shallows where the promises were kept. But the sand is shifting, beneath my shaking feet, at the invisible border of a total defeat. And it's the emotional undertow pulling at the bone, the heaviest kind of gravity I have ever known. Just when I'm walking, just when I'm free, it drags the whole of yesterday right back over me. A silent current, a subterranean sting of all the broken winters that our absence can bring. Yeah, emotional undertow, drown in the light, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night. It's a random melody, or the smell of the rain, that activates a circuit of the same old pain. I'm fighting for the oxygen, I'm fighting for the air, but the current's got a grip on the love that isn't there. I smile for the camera, I talk to the crowd, while the silence in my chest is getting way too loud. It drags me to the bottom, it drags me to the deep, into the hollow theater, the secrets that I keep. Surface looks like iron, surface looks like peace, but underneath the blue there's no such thing as release. It's a shackle of water, it's a salt water chain, a permanent reminder of the duration of the rain. Don't tell me it's over, don't tell me it's done, when I'm drowning in the shadow of a long-term sun. And it's the emotional undertow pulling at the bone, the heaviest kind of gravity I have ever known. Just when I'm walking, just when I'm free, it drags the whole of yesterday right back over me. A silent current, a subterranean sting of all the broken winters that your absence can bring. Yeah, emotional undertow, drown in the light, in the middle of the ocean, in the middle of the night. Emotion undertow, I'm going under again. Emotion undertow, back to where it's been. Just the soul, just the sea, just the ghost of you and me. I remember the velvet of your voice in the dark, back when every whisper was a living, breathing spark. The way you'd brush a stray hair from my tired eyes before the smoke of the silence started clouding up the skies. We had a hearth made of kindness, a home made of heat, but the fire burned too hungry and too bittersweet. Now I'm sifting through the parlor for a trace of the soft, but the ceiling's caved in and the weight is aloft, and the tenderness turned ash, a gray kind of ghost, the fragile remains of what I love the most. It's gritty on my tongue, it's heavy on my skin, the afterlife of always, where the shadows settle in. You can't rebuild the mercy or reignite the care when there's nothing but the suit and the empty toxic air. Yeah, tenderness turned ash, a solitary bird, the lesson in believing that I never had to learn. I found your old sweater in the bottom of the bin, but it crumbles like a secret where the numbness settles in. The thread is made of cinders, the wool is made of dust, the jewelry of wreckage and iron and the rust. We held each other tightly while the walls were ablaze, lost inside the static of our sun-drenched days. Now the colors are all buried in a permanent gray, and the gentleness of you has simply blown away. Should I sweep up the fragments? Should I clean out the hall? Or just leave the gray reminder of the loss of it all? It's a dirty kind of mourning, it's a smudged kind of grief, searching for the blossom and the unbroken leaf. But the charcoal's in the bed sheets and the smoke is in my head, living in the craters of the things you never said. And the tenderness turned ash, sands. Just the cinders, just the smoke, the final end of the gentle I remember the velvet of your voice in the dark, back when every whisper was a living, breathing spark. The way you'd brush the stray hair from my tired eyes, before the smoke of the silence started clouding up the skies. We had a hearth made of kindness, a home made of heat, but the fire burned too hungry and too bittersweet. Now I'm sifting through the parlor for a trace of the soft, but the ceiling's caved in and the weight is aloft, and the tenderness turned ash, a gray kind of ghost, the fragile remains of what I love the most. It's gritty on my tongue, it's heavy on my skin, the afterlife of always, where the shadows settle in. You can't rebuild the mercy or reignite the care when there's nothing but the suit and the empty, toxic air. Yet tenderness turned ash, a solitary burn, a lesson in the leaving that I never had to learn. I found your old sweater in the bottom of the bin, but it crumbles like a secret where the numbness settles in. The thread is made of cinders, the wool is made of dust, the jewelry of wreckage and iron and the rust. We held each other tightly while the walls were ablaze, lost inside the static of our sun-drenched days. Now the colors are all buried in a permanent gray, and the gentleness of you has simply blown away. Should I sweep up the fragments? Should I clean out the whole? Or just leave the gray reminder of the loss of it all? It's a dirty kind of mourning, it's a smudged kind of grief, searching for the blossom and the unbroken leaf. But the charcoal's in the bed sheets and the smoke is in my head, living in the craters of the things you never said. And the tenderness turned ash, a gray kind of ghost, the fragile remains of what I love the most. It's gritty on my tongue, it's heavy on my skin, the afterlife of always, where the shadows settle in. Tenderness turned ash, a solitary burn, a lesson in believing that I never had to learn. Tenderness turned ash, I can't wash my hands. Tenderness turned ash across the shifting sands. Just the cinders, just the smoke, the final end of the gentle joke. Ash, ash, gone. I'm checking the clock on the kitchen wall, waiting for the heavy, silent fall. The second hand is stuttering and slow, matching the only truth I finally know. I put my fingers to the hollow of my neck, looking for the survivor in the wreck. But the vibration's jagged, the signal is weak in the suffocating hush of the words we didn't speak. And it's a pulse without rhythm, a beat without a heart, and the mechanical remains of a life ripped apart. It's thumping in the static, it's kicking in the dark, a final frantic effort to find the spark. And no steady kind of always, no melody of weak, just the erratic signature of what's left of me. Yeah, a pulse without rhythm, a broken down hum, waiting for the numbness to finally come. The bed sheets are cold and the shadows are deep, guarding the secrets I promised to keep. I try to find the temple that we used to share before the oxygen vanished in the toxic air. But the metronome is broken, the circuit is frayed inside the hollow theater that your absence made. I'm skipping like a record, I'm stalling like a train, searching for a logic in the middle of the rain. Is it still life if the music has fled? If the soul has departed and the spirit is dead? I'm counting the thumbs, 1, 2, and 9, waiting for the eclipse of the long-term sun. It's an unnatural timing, a forced kind of beat, the final anatomy of a total defeat. And it's a pulse without rhythm, a beat without a heart, mechanical remains of a life ripped apart. It's thumping in the static, it's kicking in the dark, a just the ache, for goodness sake, gone. I'm checking the clock on the kitchen wall, waiting for the heavy, silent fall. The second hand is stuttering and slow, matching the only truth I finally know. I put my fingers to the hollow of my neck, looking for the survivor in the wreck. But the vibration's jagged, the signal is weak, in the suffocating hush of the words we didn't speak. And it's a pulse without rhythm, a beat without a heart, the mechanical remains of a life ripped apart. It's thumping in the static, it's kicking in the dark, a final frantic effort to find the spark. No steady kind of always, no melody of we, just the erratic signature of what's left of me. Yeah, a pulse without a rhythm, a broken down hum, waiting for the numbness to finally come. The bed sheets are cold and the shadows are deep, guarding the secrets I promised to keep. I try to find the temple that we used to share before the oxygen vanished in the toxic air. But the metronome is broken, the circuit is frayed inside the hollow theater that your absence made. I'm skipping like a record, I'm stalling like a train, searching for a logic in the middle of the rain. Is it still life? If the music has fled, if the soul has departed, and the spirit is dead, I'm counting the thumbs, 1, 2, and none, waiting for the eclipse of the long-term sun. It's an unnatural timing, a forced kind of beat, the final anatomy of a total defeat. And it's a pulse without a rhythm, a beat without a heart, the mechanical remains of a life ripped apart. It's thumping in the static, it's kicking in the dark, a final frantic effort to find the spark. No steady kind of always, no melody of we, just the erratic signature of what's left of me. Yeah, a pulse without a rhythm, a broken down hum, waiting for the numbness to finally come. Pulse without rhythm, I can't find the one. Pulse without rhythm, until the night is done. Just the thud, just the ache, for goodness sake, gone. calendar pages are falling like dead autumn leaves. But I'm still haunted by the way that your memory cleaves. I've read every book and I've walked every mile, trying to reconstruct a genuine smile. But the stitches are fraying, the bandage is thin, watching the old infection of us quietly begin. It's a structure of failure that time cannot fix, lost in the rubble of the mortar and bricks. And I'm failing to heal a permanent scar, no matter how fast or how far I run. It's a bone deep sorrow, an echoing ache, the signature rhythm of a heart that won't break anymore. I'm counting the minutes, I'm negotiating days, lost in the static of this hollowed out haze. Yeah, failing to heal a terminal sting, the only kind of forever that goodbye can bring. I smile for the neighbors, I work through the noon, but I'm drowning in shadows inside of this room. Every new person's voice is a trigger that fails, dragging the anchor and straightening the sails. They say the edges will soften, the colors will fade, but I'm a ghost in the theater that your absence made. The nerve endings are raw, the anesthesia is dead, living in the craters of the things you never said. Is it a blessing or just a slow motion crime to be stuck in the middle of a frozen down time? I'm not looking for mercy, I'm not looking for grace, just a way to exist in this merciless space. The wound isn't closing, it's feeding the night, extinguishing every surviving spark of light. I'm failing to heal a permanent scar, no matter how fast or how far I run. It's a bone deep sorrow, an echoing ache, the signature rhythm of a heart that won't break anymore. I'm counting the minutes, I'm negotiating The calendar pages are falling like dead autumn leaves. But I'm still haunted by the way that your memory cleaves. I've read every book and I've walked every mile, trying to reconstruct a genuine smile. But the stitches are fraying, the bandage is thin, watching the old fashion of us quietly begin. It's a structural failure that time cannot fix, lost in the rubble of the mortar and bricks. And I'm failing to heal a permanent scar, no matter how fast or how far I run. It's a bone deep sorrow, an echoing make, the signature rhythm of a heart that won't break anymore. I'm counting the minutes, I'm negotiating days, lost in the static of his hollowed out haze. They're born to heal, a terminal sting, the only kind of forever that goodbye can bring. I smile for the neighbors, I work through the noon, but I'm drowning in shadows inside of this room. Every new person's voice is a trigger that fails, dragging the anchor and shredding the sails. They say the edges will soften, the colors will fade, but I'm a ghost in the field. It's your absence made. The nerve endings are raw, the anesthesia is dead, living in the craters of the things you never said. Is it a blessing or just a slow motion crime to be stuck in the middle of a frozen down time? I'm not looking for mercy, I'm not looking for grace, just a way to exist in this merciless space. The wound isn't closing, The world was quieting down outside the pain, a final rhythm in the evening rain. We were standing in the hallway, clinging to the air before the numbing cold of the not quite there. I felt the fabric of your sweater beneath my palm, the slow motion center of a terrible calm. Your chin was on my shoulder, your breath was on my neck, the last surviving piece of a structural wreck. And it was the last soft embrace, a fragile kind of stay, before the gravity of goodbye carried us away. No jagged edges yet, no bitter kind of sting, just the hollow tenderness that a final thing can bring. We held on to the memory while the bodies were still warm, the quietest part of the gathering storm. Yeah, last soft embrace, vanishing like smoke, the tender silent end of the ultimate cruel joke. Your arms relaxed their grip by an inch or two, and I felt the oxygen leaking out of me and you. It was merciful and heavy, it was gentle and it hurt, like burying a treasure in the cold and barren dirt. I memorized the rhythm of the heartbeat in your chest, putting every single forever to its final bitter rest. Then the space began to widen, then the air began to chill against the sudden pressure of a broken down will. Should I have squeezed tighter? Should I have refused to let go, to the only piece of kindness that I'll ever really know? But you can't trap a sunset or anchor down the mist, or force a version of us that no longer exists. I let my fingers slip, I let the distance win, watching the long-term winter quietly begin. It was the last soft embrace, a fragile kind of stay, before the gravity of goodbye carried us away. No jagged edges yet, no bitter kind of sting, just the hollow tenderness that a final thing can bring. We held on to the memory while the bodies were still warm, the quietest part of was quieting down outside the pain. The final rhythm in the evening rain. We were standing in the hallway, clinging to the air, before the numbing cold of the not quite there. I felt the fabric of your sweater beneath my palm, the slow motion center of a terrible calm. Your chin was on my shoulder, your breath was on my neck, the last surviving piece of a structural wreck. And it was the last soft embrace, a fragile kind of stay before the gravity of goodbye carried us away. No jagged edges yet, no bitter kind of sting, just the hollow tenderness that a final thing can bring. We held on to the memory while the bodies were still warm. The quietest part of the gathering storm. Yeah, last soft embrace, vanishing like smoke, the tender, silent end of the ultimate cruel joke. Your arms relaxed their grip by an inch or two, and I felt the oxygen leaking out of me and you. It was merciful and heavy, it was gentle and it hurt, like burying a treasure in the cold and barren dirt. I memorized the rhythm of the heartbeat in your chest, putting every single forever to its final bitter rest. Then the space began to widen, then the air began to chill against the sudden pressure of a broken down will. Should I have squeezed tighter? Should I have refused to let go? To the only piece of kindness that I'll ever really know. But you can't trap a sunset or anchor down mist, or force a version of us that no longer exists. I let my fingers slip, I let the distance win, watching the long-term winter quietly begin. And it was the last soft embrace, a fragile kind of stay before the gravity of goodbye carried us away. No jagged edges yet, no bitter kind of sting, just the hollow tenderness that a final thing can bring. We held on to the memory while the bodies were still warm. The quietest embrace.